Now, I'm not one to usually cry, ever. Especially after an anime. Like, I've watched the saddest of anime, and I've never cried. But if I was to ever cry after an episode of a certain anime, it will be this episode of Naruto Shippuden. Turn my lights off for a little bit more of a dramatic effect. But anyway, I'm not in my normal room for you guys who know, but that doesn't matter. Let's talk about this episode of Naruto Shippuden. It's episode 480. Now, I will say that this episode was absolutely awesome. It was a whole lot better than I thought it was going to be. And oh my God, the new opening. Man, that opening was so awesome. And so was the ending, but let's talk about the opening first. It was pretty much like they were saying, we're going to soon be getting some episodes of these characters from the last. And for those of you who watched the last, I don't know if you thought about it like I did, but I was hoping that one day we would get some episodes of them in those costumes, because those costumes from the last were just absolutely awesome. In fact, they were my most favorite of the entire series. And just getting a movie adaptation of those was great, but some characters we didn't really get to see them all that much. You know, Rock Lee, Ino, Kiba, Shino, Sai. No, I think Sai played a main role, but some of the others we didn't really see much of them in their new uniforms. So it seems like we're gonna get some new episodes with these guys in those uniforms, and I'm definitely hoping for that. Now, onto the episode itself. It started out, it was Naruto as a kid, and oh my God, heartbreaking. I can't, like, oh my God. I love Naruto, I do. For the people who know me, you know that Naruto and Sasuke are my favorite characters of the show, and Naruto feels this pain throughout the show that it's kind of like what he says to Sasuke. I know a lot of you are probably going to think I'm weird for saying this, but Naruto says to Sasuke, when I see you taking on all this pain alone, it hurts. And it doesn't bother me to watch Sasuke go through stuff, because he always handles it like, you know, a BA. He comes out, he does what he needs to do, and he's cool about it when it's over. But, like, to see Naruto just sad and hurt, it hurts me, man. I do love Naruto. I really do. And it just, like, I could watch this in so many different animes, but the only ones where a character's pain has affected me is Kaneki from Tokyo Ghoul and Naruto from Naruto Shippuden and just regular Naruto. Like, oh my God. But anyway, on to the moral of the episode. First of all, it's called the Boyhood arc, Naruto and Hinata, and it's basically them when they were younger. And it starts off Naruto, he's a kid, he's sitting on top of the Hokage statues, or Hokage heads, whatever. He's sitting on top of his father's head, and he looks down at the village, and he's reaching up, he sees these birds, and he goes back into town, and you see that everyone's just treating him so badly. There's a ball that's kicked up to him, and it's by this little girl. He gets ready to pick it up, and you hear in the background someone say, oh, don't play with that kid, he's weird, you never know what he's going to do, let's stay away from him. And a good thing about this episode was that you know the pain that he felt, but it didn't really show it. But for some reason, since it didn't really show it, it still kind of appealed to emotion, if that makes any sense. I don't know, but the first half of the episode, it's just Naruto just piddling around. He sees Iruka slurping up some ramen, and you can tell he wants some, but he looks in his hand, he doesn't have the money to get it. And what's weird about this episode was, like, I swear if you watch it, it seemed like Iruka slurped on those noodles for a good 30 minutes. I don't know if it was just Naruto looking at it like, oh my God, I'm hungry, and it just kind of extended the scene out to make it seem like he was more hungry than he was. But man, I swear to God, he was on those noodles for a good 5 minutes, no joke. But anyway, he goes home, and along the way he sees Sasuke. Sasuke looks at him, and he just says, what a weird kid. And I was expecting to get a Sasuke moment. At least they were going to say something to each other, because Sasuke's theme music plays. So I thought Sasuke was going to speak to him, but he didn't say anything. Naruto goes home. He lays on his bed, and you just hear his stomach growling. And then another heartwarming moment for myself. We get to see Naruto leave the house. He goes out into the forest. And one thing I will say about this episode, the animation and art were pretty weird at, like, certain parts of Naruto's particular story. I don't know, it wasn't bad, it was just, like, weirdly drawn, like some of the characters and just some of his movements as well when he went out to the forest. But overall, he finds some mushrooms and he says, I want to cook these. He tries to cook them up. He grabs some fish. He cooks those and gets ready to eat. And then all of a sudden we see the third Hokage. He comes to Naruto and Naruto says, who are you, old man? And it doesn't introduce him as the third Hokage. He just says, I'm just an old man or something like that who's traveling, something like that to that effect. But it's like, if he's the Hokage, the third Hokage was the Hokage before Minato. So either Naruto just doesn't know who this guy is yet, or I don't know, maybe they got confused, the writers, I'm not sure, but I'm pretty sure it was the third Hokage. It was the exact design. But for some reason, he also looked old, which at the time that Naruto was a kid, he was a little bit younger. So I don't know, maybe it wasn't the third Hokage and they just used the same exact character design. I have no idea. But they sit and they talk for a while. Naruto says, you're awesome, old man. The old man tells him all these kind of stories about how the stars can reflect the sun. And it's beautiful, man. Naruto laughed, and just seeing Naruto as a kid be happy after all the pain he's gone through, it just, man, it made me so happy. It was heartwarming, man. I don't get emotional over anime ever, but this episode of all episodes was the one to do it for me. But yeah, he gets excited. He's happy to see the old man, and then it switches off to Hinata's story, which it starts with Neji, because Neji's supposed to be the protector of Hinata. It shows his backstory. He's training with his father, and I really wasn't all that interested in Hinata's backstory or Neji's. I really wasn't all that interested in Naruto's, but when I watched it, I got interested. But Hinata's didn't really do much for me. But anyway, it shows her. She catches up with Neji, they're training, and everyone says to her, all right, well, you got to improve your skills a little bit, Hinata, but you're doing good. Of course, Neji being who he is, he's like way above her level, so they're just saying, well, Neji, you're great for your age, Hinata, you need to work on it. And all of a sudden it switches, somebody dies, not sure who it was, and for some reason, at the very beginning of the episode with Naruto's part, you could feel the emotion of it, but with Hinata's story, it was just like, okay, it's not that I wasn't into it, but I just didn't really care about the fact that whoever died, and it wasn't as sad. Like, you can tell when they try to make moments sad in Naruto, and Hinata's was kind of sad out of nowhere, because at first she went to the funeral and it was kind of like she didn't know what was going on, but she saw Neji cry, she saw someone else cry, and then she cries and she just runs out, and there's these two moments, 2 or 3, where she just falls into the snow, which is weird because, I mean, after you fall once in the snow, obviously you know, okay, I better slow down or something. She falls 2 or 3 times, and she goes outside. She's just crying, and she runs into Naruto. Naruto says, hey, don't cry. And he said, what's wrong? Let me take you home. He walks her home, and he sees her place, and he says that if I lived here, I would never cry. I never cry anyway, which isn't true. We've seen Naruto cry many times throughout the series, which is just him implying that he wants to be strong, which is a great thing. And the episode ends on that note. It ends on pretty much Hinata getting to her house, and you see that she forms this bond with Naruto. And it was interesting because her father came right after Naruto left, and he said that you're hired to the clan, you shouldn't be out here, all this stuff, blah, blah, blah. And I mean, it's not like anyone's out to hurt her, but I don't know, he's just overprotective, I guess, just because of her position in the clan. But overall, it was a wonderful episode. The visuals were great. Art and animation were great after those awkward scenes between Naruto. And even those scenes didn't look bad. It was just kind of like you looked at the characters and it was like, whoa, what the heck's going on here? It kind of reminds me of that anime movie, I believe it's called Spirited Away. I'm not sure. I never watched it, but it just, the like graphics and stuff and art and animation kind of looked like that. So it was weird in a sense, but it was also awesome. It was a great episode, and it's not something that has to be watched. If you guys aren't ones to watch filler, I wouldn't even recommend it, but if you're a big Naruto fan and you like the fillers, this is definitely one of the better fillers in my opinion. I think it was. So yeah, I recommend the episode to anybody who wants to watch it. And I'm definitely gonna be watching next week as well, because next week's episode is gonna be Sasuke and Sakura. And as you all know, Sasuke is my favorite character. Don't care much for Sakura, but I'm gonna watch the entire episode anyway. I'm not gonna watch 15 minutes and then turn it off. That'd be kind of pointless. But yeah, great episode. I give it an 8.5 out of 10. And then on to that new ending, man. That ending was awesome. The opening was awesome, but the ending was awesome too. And it was weird because it didn't even relate to anime whatsoever, to the anime. And it was, Naruto's a ninja anime, but the ending was, well, I guess the theme was baseball. Because it was Naruto, he has these clones, they're at a dugout getting ready to pitch. He has the ball and he tosses it for someone to bat, and the person to bat is Sasuke. And when you see him get ready to bat, he activates his Sharingan, and you see him hit what appears to be a home run. Like, honestly, the hit, there's no way that anyone could catch it. And I guess it kind of reflects Sasuke's hate throughout the entire series, because at one point Naruto said, "I'm the only one who can take what you dish out, so I'll deal with you myself." Which I guess this is kind of symbolism towards that, because as you see, the pitch is way out there after Sasuke hits it, and it's like no way Naruto would catch it. But he catches it anyway, and then we finally get to see once again them lock the fingers, the little jutsu finger things that they always do. And it was awesome. You could tell that the bond between them is complete now. They see each other as brothers. They see each other as equals. They acknowledge each other. They care for each other. The friendship is strong. For the Fujoshi, Sasunaru is canon, whatever you want to call it. It's awesome, man. I love the bond between Naruto and Sasuke, and I love just everything about Naruto right now. So it's great episode. I hope you guys enjoy it. I hope you guys enjoyed this different review, because like I said, I'm not in my room this time, but yeah, I just started to want to do something different. I don't know. But anyway, hope you guys enjoy the review. If you did, don't forget to leave a like. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel, and follow me on everything you see listed in the description below. Also follow me on Anime Amino. I just made an account recently. My name is Animated Heroes. There's nothing different about it, and I'll talk to you guys later. Peace.